So I'm making this video out of yet another tragedy. The Behind the Shield podcast was founded after I personally went to 6 funerals of my friends in a couple of years and decided to start being proactive and bringing experts in all areas of wellness to the first responder and military communities and medical communities for free. 6 years later and over 700 episodes, we just had 2 suicides in the last week in the fire department here, Marion County, that protects my family. And I realized that there was still a disconnect. There are people within this echo chamber that understand all these elements that are negatively affecting mental and physical health in the uniformed professions. And then there's everyone else. And the problem is, I don't think this education is getting to enough people. So I wanted to create bite-sized videos, Behind the Shield bite-size, if you want to brand it for a second, and just literally take a topic each time I put a video, and we'll address the topic one by one. The more we all are aware of the true preventable element of our suicides and overdoses and cancers and heart disease and obesity and strokes, the more empowered we will be to push for change within our environment, at home and at work. It has become so normalized for our responders to do more with less. Stations are browned out, staffings are cut, and which falls squarely on the shoulders of the first responders and everyone else in these professions. And so what we're seeing is an increase in mortality. More and more and more of these men and women are dying. So I am going to put to you questions as well. What do you want answered? I'm going to cover sleep deprivation, counseling at the beginning of a profession rather than screening and box checking, the impact of our job on testosterone and fertility, the increased chance of getting injuries, backs and knees that we have so much in our profession from the way that we work. How do we down-regulate? What are some of the things that we can use, the positive coping mechanisms, some of the great movement practices that will overcome injury without surgery, without medication, mental health, even some of the more stigmatized tools in the toolbox people don't realize that they have, psychedelics and ketamine therapy and MDMA-led therapy and some of these other ones that people are having amazing results. So I'm going to break these down question by question, point by point, and slowly put these videos out. Each one will be simply on one concept. So some of the devil's advocate questions that I get is, well, if we give these responders more time off, they're just going to work more overtime. Or I'll sleep when I'm dead, something we believe in, So that's just 2 kind of examples. What do you want to know? I have a gamut of things that I'm going to put out there, but I also want it to be a 2-way conversation. So what is it that you want answered? What are some of the pushbacks that you get that you need the evidence to back up so you can go to your union, your chief, your city or county and start forcing change and improving the physical and mental well-being of everyone that you serve amongst. So that is it. This is the new bite-sized piece. I've got a book, Behind the Shield. I got a book, One More Light, that I've written. There's 726 episodes of the Behind the Shield podcast. It is completely free. There's no Patreon, there's no VIP access. It's open source for you. So my thing was, what else can I use? Well, these devices, this media is an important tool as well. So I'm going to start disseminating some of this. And each of these videos will be coupled with the episode of at least one of these experts and, if appropriate, a book that they've written on this topic as well. So I can lead you down your own rabbit hole to learn even more. So look for these videos now. There'll be a kind of frequent thing, and then there will also be a library. I will upload every single one to the Behind the Shield YouTube channel. So that way, even if you miss it on Instagram or Facebook, you can still find it there on this library. All right, so send me your questions on social media. If you have my number, text them to me, and let's start educating people. Like I said, my ultimate goal is to get people educated and angry. Angry in a way that they're actually going to rise up, unify, and force change. Cheers.